legislation. Do you need to hide anything? Do you really need to hide anything? Why go to the trouble or the deception? Why? Because Tallahassee knows the people don't want it. The teachers don't want it. The majority. I can't speak for every teacher. The parents don't want it. But if you like it, go ahead, because I'll tell you what, if you want our kids to grow up like bricks in the wall instead of a stone, go ahead, vote for it. Take their individuality away from them, because that's what's happening. Now, one of the other reasons I may have decided to run for the State House of Representatives is, as a business owner myself, my opposition to new taxes and tax increases. And let me explain this. Recently, I was named coordinator of Florida Acts Tax for the Polk County. Specifically, to address the property tax increase that was being contemplated by the city of Lakeland, which they did not follow through on. And also, My Ride, My Road, the mass transit tax, the 1% increase. Now, I don't know about you guys, but every time I walk into the grocery store, it seems like milk is going up another $1 a gallon. The prices are not stopping, they're skyrocketing. Now, I've had people, they are not middle class and upper class, but I have had 17% of Polk County is poverty. Now, who do you think this tax increase is going to hurt the worst, hurt the most? It's not going to hurt me. It really won't. 1 penny on the dollar ain't going to hurt me. It ain't going to hurt most people. But I'll tell you what, it will hurt the people that are living on budgets and fixed incomes, and those that are in the poverty zone. And what really aggravates me, sitting at a City of Lakeland commission meeting, is to have a person come up there and say, "Hey guys, come on. There's nothing wrong with this 1% increase in sales tax. All you have to do is just sacrifice your cup of Starbucks for 1 month. Just 1 cup of Starbucks is all you got to do to sacrifice for 1 month." That infuriated me. You know why? Hey, I go to Starbucks every day by choice because I can. But there's people out there, they're just trying to make ends meet by going to the grocery store, by filling up. Thank God the gas prices are going down right now. Like to fill up their car with gas. You know, they're not worried about their Starbucks, their cup of Starbucks at all. And another issue I want to talk to you about when it comes to taxes is the commercial sales tax that's charged to businesses when they lease their offices, their stores, and so forth. Now, this is a bill that's been sitting on Governor Scott's desk for the longest time. In fact, he promised to carry through with this when during his election bid 4 years ago. By phasing this tax out or abolishing it, I've been told, in fact, I attended a meeting of the Lakeland Real Estate Association a few months ago. Matter of fact, John Shannon was there also, I believe. John. And they indicated that Publix had told them that if they were to eliminate that sales tax, they could build, I believe it was 11 new stores in the area, employ about 160 more employees. Folks, this would be an economic boost that could be taken care of pretty quickly if we were to focus on that. Another reason that it may be because I decided to run for State House of Representatives could be my concern for children, child welfare in the state of Florida. And I realize many of you are unaware of this, but there is an epidemic in child welfare right now going on. And that is, there is a disparity when it comes to funding child welfare when people step forward to go and adopt their children. Oftentimes when people step forward to adopt children, they're provided with a stipend, an adoption stipend, to help them because that child has been through a lot of abuse, neglect, and so forth. And it takes a lot to integrate them to a new family. But we have one side of the state that says, we will support you any way that we can with post-adoption services. However, right here in Polk County is the opposite. It's like pulling teeth to get the support an adoptive family needs when it comes to post-adoption services and funding. There have been cases where I have worked on personally and professionally where on the West Coast in Pinellas, they may get a subsidy that they are entitled through the laws of the state of Florida of, let's say, $600 a month. But right here in Polk County, you're given the same situation, they won't even consider it. In fact, families are forced to and intimidated by letters to have public hearings to support their claim. And many of them just give up because they don't have the time or the money to get representation for that. But here's why it should be a concern of you guys. Because when an adoption disrupts, or it gets close to disruption, and they usually call me in to resolve it before it gets to the point of disrupting, that child is either put back into the system, costing you, the taxpayers, more money, or is put in a residential center for 6 months to a year, comes back to the family. If things aren't resolved and the family doesn't have the proper resources and support, the same thing happens. Now, do you know how much it costs for a child to be in a residential treatment facility? $15,000 a month. Not my, well, yeah, my money. The taxpayers' money. The taxpayers' money. So we have got to find some way to save the taxpayers' money, to get the state to recognize that it is an epidemic, and to support with a smiling face those parents that come forward and adopt that child. These are important issues. In addition, you could say I decided to run because of my adamant opposition to abortion. I'm endorsed by the personhood of Florida as a candidate, the only third-party candidate out of 70 candidates, I believe, in the state of Florida. I'm also endorsed by Florida Acts to Tax for the higher taxes to oppose those. But let me tell you, folks, the primary reason I chose to run for State House of Representatives, well, there's two reasons. Let me get to this first one first. I work with kids and families on a daily basis. I work with a lot of impressionable young people. And there is nothing that would make me more happier when I'm able to go to a young person that I work with and tell them, you can do it. You can do it. Look at what I'm doing. You can do it. You can achieve anything you want to. When I was in high school, I had a 2.11 GPA. Boy, that's great. Common Core, I mean, I would never graduate with that kind of standard set forth. And I was 248 out of 263 at class rank. Now, folks, I'm going for my dissertation, my PhD. But you know something? It is great when I can sit down with a young person and share with them where I've been, what I've accomplished now, and I can encourage them to step out. I can encourage the Devons of this state that have spent 10 years in foster care to step out and take a chance and voice their opinion. Or the Bridgets that never did get a family, went right into independent living, who's now going to college. As a matter of fact, both of them are. Or the Casey Brady's, my student intern that goes to McKeel Academy. That's a cross-country star. And now one of his dreams and aspirations is to go to the University of Tampa and major in political science, a true conservative, a young person. But the primary reason I chose to step forward and run for the State House of Representatives, I'm just tired of the way things have gone the last decade. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of our U.S. Constitution, Declaration of Independence being ignored. Tired of the intrusion from Washington, D.C. And you say, well, how in the world does that relate to the state of Florida? Because we need strong leadership in the state of Florida and Tallahassee to safeguard from the infringements by Washington, D.C. that will stand up and speak up and voice what's good for Florida. That's why I'm running. To speak out, to voice those concerns, to be a leadership example in the state. You know? And it makes me so proud to stand here today. I would have never thought 40 years ago that I'd be standing here today in this situation. But to think that it would be pleasing to my dad, who was a Korean War vet, served in the Army, to my father-in-law, Tom Sherritt, who deceased 2 years ago, that served in the U.S. Navy in the Korean War, to my uncles, every one of them that served in the military, whether it be U.S. Air Force, Navy, or Army. You know, it makes me proud to know of the people that we have protecting the U.S. And it would be a shame to see all that going in the wink of an eye, because somebody that just does not believe in the way we live, the way of America. And I just want to thank each and one of you. And thank God for being here today. Beautiful day. I just wish more people were here to hear the message. And all I can say is just go out there, spread the word, folks. If you believe in what I believe, I appreciate you spreading the word or vote. If you don't, that's great. Because you know something? That's part of the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment. Oh, and by the way, the Second Amendment, nobody better take those gun rights away from us either. Right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Any question?